Hello my dear all students, welcome again to our channel Gyan Manji Online Education. I hope you all are fine and safe at your home. So my dear all students, today we are moving with our next unit and the name of the unit is A Truly Beautiful Mind. So this is very truly beautiful story, some kind of different story we will see here. One particular personalities, we can say the person who has different kind of personality. One person who got the success in his life, but what the another aspect in his life we will see in this unit by A Truly Beautiful Mind. So before we read, who do you think of when you hear the word genius? Who is a genius? What qualities do you think a genius has? If we call anyone that this particular person is very genius, so which kind of qualities are there in that kind of person, in a genius person? So many qualities are there. Person by person the qualities are changed, right? So in this unit and next we shall now read about a young German civil servant who took the world by storm about 100 years ago. In the summer of 1905, the 26-year-old published in quick succession 4 ground-breaking papers about light, the motion of particles, the electrodynamics of moving bodies, and energy. His work took up only a few pages in scientific journals, but changed forever our understanding of space, time, and the entire cosmos, and transformed the name Einstein into a synonym for genius. So here in this unit we can see the little bit we can see, maybe we will learn about the genius person Einstein. So here at the end of that line, Einstein into synonym for genius. So Einstein, the name Einstein, the person Einstein, who's a very great mathematician, we all know that. So the synonym of Einstein is genius because he was very genius. That's why. 50 years after his death, Albert Einstein's genius still reigns. We all know. Albert Einstein was born on 14th March 1879 in the German city of Ulm, without any indication that he was destined for greatness. On the contrary, his mother thought Albert was a frank. So here our lesson begins, our unit begins. Albert Einstein was born on 14th March 1879 in the German city of Ulm. The city of German, the name of the city is Ulm. Without any indication that he was destined for greatness. On the contrary, his mother thought, what did his mother think? His mother thought Albert was frank. So what do you mean by frank? So that word is properly used disappointingly to talk about a person who is unusual and doesn't behave or look or think like others. So for his mother, for Albert Einstein's mother, her son means Albert Einstein was not any other children, right? So he was not normal for her. To her, his head seemed too much large. So his mother thought, his mother was thinking that her son Einstein, he had very large head. At the age of 2.5, Einstein still was not talking. At the age of 2.5, he was not even talk, because means he had not tried to talk. Because we can see nowadays whatever the babies are there, they are growing up, and if they are not still 1 year old, some that kind of babies are there who are able to speak. But Einstein, he was not able to speak till 2.5 years. When he finally did learn to speak, he uttered everything twice. So finally he had spoken. But how he uttered everything twice? He was not able to speak continuously. He uttered when he spoke. And he uttered everything twice. Einstein didn't know what to do with other children. So it was his time. It was the time to play with other children, and his playmates called him brother boring, because he was not that kind of boy who plays. So the youngster played by himself much of the time. So he was not going to outside to play with other children. He especially loved mechanical toys. What did he love? He loved mechanical toys. Looking at his newborn sister, now he had his sister who just born, Maja. He said to have said, "Fine, but where are her wheels?" So he was very connected with his toys. So whenever Einstein saw her newborn sister, so he told that, "Where is the wheels of this my sister?" So this sentence tells us that how he was connected with mechanical, right? Next, so here we had something. So Otto Nogebert, the historian of ancient mathematics, told a story about the boy Einstein that he characterized as a legend, but that seems fairly authentic. As he was a late talker, his parents were worried because he was not able to speak, and when he tried to speak, when he started to speak, he was uttered everything twice. So his parents were very worried. At last, at the supper table one night, he broke his silence to say, "The soup is too hot." Greatly relieved, his parents asked why he had never said a word before. Albert replied, "Because up to now everything was in order." So this sentence want to tell us that he was not believing in that kind of order, right? He never liked to follow the order. So that we will see further. A headmaster once told his father that what Einstein chose as a profession wouldn't matter, because he'll never make a success at anything. So here you can see how the headmaster told to Einstein's father that whatever he will choose as his profession, he will not get success in his life. So we can say that we should not give any statement related to any person that this particular person is like that or like that. Whatever will happen in the future, we can't assume, right? And whatever the person is there, his or her negativities are there, we have to convert that into positivity. Einstein began learning to play the violin at the age of 6. When he was 6 years old, on that time, he learned to play the violin because his mother wanted him to. He later became a gifted amateur violinist, maintaining the skill throughout his life. So he had that kind of skill to play violin. Einstein's mother thought if he will not do anything else, so he will play violin. So amateur means doing something for personal enjoyment rather than as a profession. So his mother thought that if he will not get success in his life, so he will do his skill into the profession. But Albert Einstein was not a bad pupil. So here we can say the other aspect of Einstein. So whatever we had the knowledge about Einstein, the great mathematician, genius Einstein, but in this unit we are seeing the different aspect of Einstein. But Albert Einstein was not a bad pupil. He was not a bad student. How? He went to high school in Munich, where Einstein's family had moved, where he was 15 months old. When he was 15 months old, on that time, he went to high school in Munich, where Einstein's family had moved, and scored good marks in almost every subject. He got full marks, he got good marks in all the subjects. So we can see that he was not bad pupil, he was not bad student, and often clashed with his teachers. So he got clashed also with his teachers. At the age of 15, Einstein felt so stifled that he left the school for good. Stifled means some kind of suffocation. He felt suffocation. Einstein, he was feeling very suffocation there. So he left the school for good. So he didn't want to live there more. So he left the school for good, to do something new, to do something good, because he didn't like to be under someone, right? He didn't like to just obey the rules, or we can say that he didn't like to that kind of schools where so many rules, regulations are there, and teachers and all the staff react very strict. The previous year, Albert's parents had moved to Milan and left their son with relatives. So here, talking about the previous year, Albert's parents had moved to Milan, so they left their son Einstein with the other relatives. After prolonged discussion, Einstein got his wish to continue his education in German-speaking Switzerland, in a city which was more liberal than Munich. So before that he was studying in Munich, but here there was liberal than Munich. Where did he? So he was at Milan. No, Albert's parents had moved to Milan and he was with his relatives. So after prolonged discussion, Einstein got his wish to continue his education in German-speaking Switzerland, in a city which was more liberal than Munich, because he was not habituated, he didn't like to do this, didn't like to follow the rule. So he got that permission to continue his education. Einstein was highly gifted in mathematics and interested in physics. And after finishing school, he decided to study at a university in Zurich. So after completion of his school, he was highly gifted in mathematics and he had interest in physics. So after finishing his school, he decided to study at a university in Zurich to study further. But science was not the only thing that appealed to the dashing young man with the walrus mustache. So you can see the picture, the first picture of Einstein, the second picture, the very well-known picture of Einstein. But the first picture, it was that picture, he was looking as very young, like 21 to 22 years old. So he had not just interest in science but appeal to the dashing young man. He is looking very dashing young man with the walrus mustache. He had that kind of interest to look and to be like that, and he had that kind of mustache like walrus. So that first picture, Einstein in 1900 at the age of 21, and the second image, Einstein in 1955, as we remember him now. So if you will see the first picture very first time, so on that time we can't identify that he is Einstein. But if we will see the second image, so we know that from where we come to know that Einstein is there on that time. We are habituated to see Einstein as the image like this. Whenever we imagine Einstein on that time, our second image, that second image comes in our mind. Next, he also felt a special interest in a fellow student. So now we can see he had not just that kind of interest in looking very young to play piano, but he also felt a special interest in a fellow student. He had a special student in a fellow student. He had interest. So let's see what's her name. Milena Merrick, whom he found to be a clever creature. She was very clever. She was very intelligent. Of course, so only Einstein had interest in that particular girl or lady, Milena Merrick. This young Serb, so here the word Serb means that Milena Merrick, she was belonging to Serbia country, so that's why we can say her as Serb. This young Serb, young girl, she was belonging to Serbia, so that's why Serb. As we are Indian, we are belonging to India, that's why. This young Serb had come to Switzerland because now we got the result. Why did she come from Serbia to Switzerland? Because the university in Zurich was one of the few in Europe where women could get degree. So before so many years, there were some rules and some universities were there where women could not get degree from that university. So in the Switzerland, that university in Zurich, it was one of the few in Europe. It was that one of that country or one of that university, sorry, where women could get degree, because not everywhere, not all the university could give the degree to women. So that's why she came from Serbia to Switzerland. Einstein saw in her an ally against the Philistines. So two new terms also are there. Ally, a friend or an associate. So Einstein saw in her an ally against the Philistines. So maybe you don't know, but before so many years, at the time about 19th century, 18th and 19th century, on that time what happened, that people were not allowed to read that kind of literature, music, dance or art, right? So this Einstein and Milena, they both were against about this. So whatever the people are there, they are called Philistines. So here you can see a word used disappointingly to talk about people who don't like, the people who don't like art, literature or music. So many novelists, dramatists, poets had written about this kind of things. If you refer the history, so you can see that some poets and some dramatists had very literally written about this kind of things. Okay, so Einstein saw in Milena as a friend against the Philistines, those people in his family. So in his own family, some people were there who were against this kind of things, who were against like art, literature or music. Those people in his family and at the university with whom he was constantly at odds. Constantly at odds. So they both were there and constantly at odds. Whom he was constantly at odds. So they were in touch and they were just doing that kind of things. They were opposites of them who don't like this kind of things. So they were opposites. The couple fell in love. Einstein and Milena, this couple fell in love. Let us survive, in which they put their affection into words, mixing science with tenderness. So before that, technology was not there. Before so many years, that kind of technology was not there. So whenever we could call them or video call or SMS or chat, so many things, so many applications are there, so many that kind of station or what we can say, so many things are there right now. But before some days, before some years, sorry, if we talk about 19th century, 18th century or even 20th century, there were not any kind of technology. So how did they survive? Letters. They wrote letters to each other. Letters survive, in which they put their affection, whatever their feelings were there, they wrote in the letter and sent it to each other. And how did they write? Mixing science with tenderness. So they had Einstein, he had deep interest in science, maths and all, and Milena, she was also belonging to that kind of stream. So they were writing in their own language. Like wrote Einstein, what did he write? How happy and proud I shall be when we both have brought out work on relatively to a victorious conclusion. So he had that kind of maybe project he had. So he wrote, how happy and proud I shall be when we both have brought our work. So in this language he expressed his feelings towards Milena. Mixing language, we can see brought our work on relatively to a victorious conclusion. So he just wanted to say that after this, whatever they had project, so after completion of this, otherwise they had completed already, and then they were declared their love, whatever they had between. So how happy and proud I shall be when we both have brought our work on relatively to a victorious conclusion. Okay, so whatever he wrote, it's some kind of funny way to write to our lover. So this kind of things are there. So students, here we are going to end up our today's lecture. We will meet our next lecture. So have a nice day. Thank you.